Hello 7th class. Today I am making a video for chapter 3 element, compound and mixture. As we know, there are large number of things around us and a lot of elements we learned in earlier chapter. Two or more elements may be chemically combining, and we know ultimately everything is made up of element. An element which is present all around us, they are either pure element or they are pure compound, or they may be in form of mixtures. Then there may be mixture of compounds. Different types of things are there around us. For example, air is there which we breathe, is having a lot of things in it. What? Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water. Some of them are in form of elements, some of them are in form of compounds. Now, what is all about this? We will be studying in this chapter. Around us, large number of things are there, and we classify them in form of substance. And these substances are further classified into pure substance and mixtures. Now, pure substance are further classified into elements and compounds. Okay, so there are three classification of substances around us, that is element, compounds and mixtures. Now, what are pure substance? Substances which cannot be divided further, split further, smaller by any physical means. We call them pure substance. Elements and compounds are pure substance. Now, what are elements? If we talk about what are elements, elements are those substances which cannot be split into simpler substance by chemical means. You cannot break an element into smaller one because they are ultimately the smallest one. Now, elements, 118 elements are there around us, children. So, we will be not learning all about some of the elements we will be learning. Now, how these elements are represented? These elements have their names and each element is shown by their symbol. The symbol of the element is the first letter in most of the cases. Like hydrogen is H, oxygen is O, fluorine is F, boron is B, carbon is C, and others elements are there. But there are many elements which have more than, the symbols have more than one alphabet. Like helium is there. It is having H and E. So, if an element is having symbol 2 letters, in that case the first letter will be capital and the second letter will be small. This is how we want to represent them. Why there is a need of 2 elements? Now, check here, hydrogen is there, na? Already been given H. So, if I talk about helium, then can I represent it with H? No. So, if 2 or more than 2 elements are there with same first letter, like in case of calcium, chromium and cobalt, their first letter is taken C, capital. Now the second letter is being taken there, alphabet is being taken A. Now here H is there, its R is being taken because there is one more, chlorine, whose HCH. So that CH common and this chromium and chlorine. So we are keeping the first one, leaving the second, and small letter of the third alphabet we are putting from there. Chromium is having Cr, chlorine is having Cl, and cobalt is having Co. When second letter is not same, then the second letter will be taken. If 2 elements with second letter same, will go for the third one. Now there are elements in which we'll find that their symbols are not represented by the letter by which the name is starting, alphabet by which the name is starting. Sodium is starting with S, but if we check its symbol, it is Na. That means they had taken the name from the Latin words, Latin names. Latin name of sodium is natrium, so Na. Potassium is kalium, so K, and such on, like this. Okay, now coming to us is second condition, that is molecules of element. All the elements does not exist alone. They cannot exist independently alone. They need to combine with one another. If same elements are combining, if same elements form, they combine and form, then we call it molecule of elements. Why two elements, atoms are combining? Because they cannot exist alone. So they combine. Sometimes two atoms are there Like in chlorine, hydrogen, nitrogen, H2, N2, O2, F2, Cl2. In some cases there are 3 atoms like O3, ozone. So what they form? They form molecule of element. Now how many atoms are there? That is known as atomicity of molecule. If 2 atoms are there, we'll say atomicity is 2, H2. In hydrogen atomicity is 2. Nitrogen atomicity 2, fluorine atomicity 2. If there are 3 atoms, we will say atomicity is 3. Then in next video, we will be learning about compounds.